Okay, I'm back. This is Eve Walker with the Digital Learning and Innovation team at McDowell Schools. I had already done a live broadcast just a second ago, and you've got the website for SeeSaw there. It is at.seesaw.me. I'm going to go ahead and show students how to log in. Now, your teachers, if and when they decide to start using this, they're going to share a home learning code with you and your family. This is all you need to get into their classroom in SeeSaw, is this one code. So it's very easy to join up and start using SeeSaw with your teacher. Of course, I'm on a MacBook right now, so I'm going to app.seesaw.me. Again, there's apps for the iPhone, Android devices, all those other devices. You can download the app, the free app called SeeSaw Class, and that will be where you go to put in your code. I'm going to click I'm a student. And down here where it says text code, that's where you're going to go. You're just going to add your text code your teacher gave you. I've got one I've already tried. So again, this is a student logging into SeeSaw. Click go. Sorry, my dog is very sick and he coughs a lot. That's who you hear in the background. So here are some activities that my teacher has given me. I am Savannah. Here's my name. So you can look through and see what you need to add a response to. All the activities will pop up when you first log in. And then if you have any messages from your teacher, they'll be in your inbox here. The teacher sent out a good morning class message, and I can read that and see what's going on with my teacher or what she wants me to know for the day. I can go back to my activities and see what I need to complete. I have already prepared the Geometry Fun at Home activity. So I'm going to show you that one and how you would submit a lesson with that. Geometry Fun at Home, you can read the directions here. There's always explanations. Either your teacher will type these or she'll use a pre-made activity that another teacher has created, and then she can share it as well. So that's very convenient for the teacher. There's lots of great activities listed on SeeSaw. But this one's geometry. And you can read all the directions yourself. It says look around for shapes you know. Can you find a circle, a square, a rectangle, a cube, or a cylinder? And if you're having trouble reading this, you can always click play instructions and it will play the instructions for you. It'll read them to you. So that's a very nice feature for the younger student. And a lot of these are home activities that are being designed right now. This one, most of them have a family why, and it explains to the parents or caregivers, geometry is fun when it's put in context. Having students look for and identify shapes helps them realize geometry and math is everywhere. So this is a Geometry Fun at Home activity. I'll just show you how that works if you hit play.
Have fun with geometry, the study of at home. Let's get going. Step 1. Look around for shapes you know. Can you find a circle, a square, a rectangle, a cube, a cylinder? Step 2. Collect your shapes in one place in front of you. Step 3. Trace one of your shapes onto a piece of paper and label it. Step 4. Partition or split up your shape into 2 equal parts. Older students can label the fraction. Step 5, trace another shape and split it into 4 equal parts. Step 6, tap the add button. Step 7, tap the camera button to take a picture of your work. Step 8, tap the microphone to show your thinking. What shapes did you create? How do you know the parts are equal? Step 9, tap the green check to save.
Okay, so that was
Have fun with geometry.
That was the teacher that created this activity. She made a voice recording to share with her students the specific directions. And then I can just, when I'm ready, I've done the instructions as a student. I've got my work ready to go. So I'm going to choose Add a Response, the green button. For all students, you get all these choices that pop up, but I'm going to follow my teacher's directions, and she said do a photo. Other options are you can draw something for your teacher right into the built-in whiteboard it has. You can create a video for your teacher. So rather than doing a photo, you can make an actual live video and send to them. You can also upload files from Google Drive, which is very handy for our county since we have Google. You can just make a quick note and you can add links in. So all these things are available for students to turn in work to the teacher. For this particular instruction though, I was asked to take a photo. So I'm going to click on photo. And here is my examples I did from shapes I found around my home. So I'm going to come down here and click the camera button when I'm ready. And then as you can see, I have got my work submitted. I cut it off at the top a little bit, but that's okay for this moment. And you can see that what I traced was actually a roll of toilet paper. We have plenty of that laying around. And I traced a box of Kleenex, and I found a bottle of rubbing alcohol I didn't know I had, and traced that. So I traced all those fun objects from around the house, and I wrote in, since I'm an older student, I wrote in my fractions. For the one, I did 2/2, and for the other, I wrote in my fourths, and I went ahead and did a third figure here. At this point, like the teacher said, the instructions were to use the microphone over here. So as you can see that you have these built-in tools as a student. You can do the text feature and put text on the screen, add more text. You can use the microphone. You can take another photo after you finish writing on it. And there's a few other options here. You can add backgrounds and shapes, which we won't do with this particular activity, but that's another handy feature. And you can actually write on it with these markers down here, pencils and markers. So if I wanted to just, I'm going to do red, I could just draw in like an arrow and talk about, what I've got here. And I can do a different color over here maybe. I know this isn't part of the instructions, but I just wanted to show you guys a couple more features. Of course, the eraser will erase any mistakes you make. And if I do what my teacher told me to do, I'm going to hit the record button. It's counting down. Hi, Miss Walker. This is, I think this is Nora. I forgot which kid I used. Anyway, I did a tissue box from my home, and this is the blue arrow is showing I've divided it into fourths. This is 1/4 of my square. And the red arrow is showing that I divided into this is my toilet paper roll, and I divided it into 1/2. 1/2. So there's 2 halves there. And down here I have an alcohol bottle I traced and divided it into halves as well. When you're finished recording, you just hit pause over here. You can preview that and listen to it if you need to. If you click the green button is like the magic button for teachers and students. So when I click, and as you can see, I could record up to 5 minutes if I needed to. But I'm going to click done. Also, if I need to go back and view the instructions again, they're built in here. That's handy. So you can go back and click that and see your instructions again to make sure you didn't forget to do anything. But I'm on number 9 now. I'm going to tap the green check to save it. That's where I can listen to it again. I'm going to check it again. And it's uploading, excuse me, it's uploading to my teachers, it's waiting for my teacher to approve now. So what's going to happen is she's got to approve all her students' work as it comes in. She'll make sure that you responded correctly, that you did the actual assignment. So you want to make sure you follow directions and complete those assignments as she asks you to. She also might give you a comment here underneath it. There's a little place to comment. You can add a comment yourself if you forgot something and you realize it later. If you want to go in here, you can add a typed comment, or you can add you can also add a voice recorded comment if you rather do that. So that's an option too. Your teacher can also like your work that you've turned in. She can click the little like button and put a heart on it for you. So also, just for parents' information, this when you set it up with the home learning code, students will only see their own work. Other students will not be seeing the work that they're doing in SeeSaw. Only the teacher sees it and you see it. So it's very private with the home learning code and setup. So that's good to know. I already showed you guys the other activities that you have left to do, and the inbox is where teachers might send a message. As you turn in work, it'll be in your journal. So there you can see it's still waiting for teacher approval, but any work that you turn in is in your journal. So after you've completed the activities, under Activities tab here, and we've added a few different activities for this one. Anything you turn in or add a response to with the green button is going to be in your journal. if you don't completely turn it in, then it won't be in your journal. So that's a good way to check, see what you've finished. Now, as a teacher, I can go back and log in as a teacher, and I'm going to show that real quick because I have a few more minutes left. Teachers go to the same website, and I do prefer using a MacBook or a computer for this part, because you've got, if you go to app.seesaw.me, it's just a better way to view things for teachers planning lessons. So I would recommend going in this way and clicking I'm a teacher, of course. And then teachers, you're going to sign in with your Google account. So make sure you do that first. Choose your Google account. And it's going to redirect you to your class page. If this is your first time, you can join a school. So it may, I can't remember how it prompted me here, but you can join your school that you are a part of. And it kind of gives you that learning community of your school built into it. So that's nice. The feature they have now is get the home learning codes. If you click this, it takes you to a screen where you can download your codes for all your students. Again, these are just 12-letter codes, simple codes. They just type in and then they're in your class. So if you're just getting started with SeeSaw, after you add your students' names, you'll want to go through and click on that Get Home Learning Codes button and get your students' codes, and just send them via email or Class Dojo or whatever communication you already use with your students. On the button down here that says, it's like a plus sign in students, you're going to add your students here. So I've already added 3 students, but if I'm going to add the rest of my class, I might just start typing. You can also just paste a list of students' names. If you have 2 Tommies, you could put their last initial. It does not have to be the whole name. So just go through and add the rest of your students, and then when you're finished, hit the green check. And it gives you this information, but since we're using it at home currently, if needed, we're going to skip that part. And when we're done adding students, as you see here, and it gives them each a cute little animal face, you do the Get Home Learning Codes. And that'll download a CSV file for you to just have all those codes to send out to families. I've got a couple minutes left. I want to show you real quickly the activities that you have. Like, here's where your activities are that you have added. I do have under Savannah, I think that's who it was. It gives you messages down here. I have 1 unapproved post. So I'm going to click on that. And I'm going to check Savannah's work. If I have time, I would listen to it, of course. I might put a heart on it or a comment on it down here. And it tells her who put a heart there. And then approve with the green button that says approve. And she will know that the teacher has seen her work and approved it. The other thing under activities, there is a, you can browse the activity library here, which is full of great ideas to use in SeeSaw. I found this Rosa Parks timeline one on there earlier, and students can do the timeline after you could read aloud a story to them on here, and then they could do the timeline as a response. Besides clicking down here under activities, you can also click add up here, the green button. Teachers have a green button too. You can post student work, assign an activity, or even just send an announcement like the good morning announcement earlier. If you send an announcement, it will go in their inboxes, like I showed you on Savannah's screen. If you click assign an activity, it will also take you to the activity library. And you can create your own activity, or you can search by grade level and subject and find what you want that way. You can borrow one from someone else. So let me click home learning. I'm just curious. Oh, we've already done that one. Let's see. Math. So, and there was no first grade math. Let me try second grade. Okay, so there's a few second grade activities. Oh, I'm in my library. I'm sorry. That's why it's so narrow. I didn't notice that. So you can go to the community with everybody or do your own library. And second grade math, I've got lots to choose from, I'm sure. Yes. So here's another fraction one we could do as a supplement if we wanted to. Just choose that. And if you like it and like the instructions for students, then you just click Assign. It's that easy. And if you have folders made, which is another feature we'll go over later, you can actually add it to your math folder for your students. You can actually make organized folders for each subject. So I'm going to assign it to my class, and they will get that activity in their feed.